My man, Dennis.
Yeah. What's up?
I only know you as Dennis.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Dennis? Tell me about Dennis.
Yes, so I guess okay. So let's start off. So
Yeah.
Denis Leach.
Yes.
Now Lord Denis Leach of Kerry. That's
Of
another,
Kerry?
Yeah, that's another podcast.
Oh, wow, okay.
But Denis Leach, aka Kid Clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how some would know me as Dennis, and some would know me as Kid Clever.
So we serendipitously met. Well, we didn't meet. We saw each other again in the street in Long Street. And I had literally been looking for you probably for about since 2004 or something like that. Because I don't know, you probably didn't deal with me directly, but myself and Brendan Allen did hip hop parties at the Shack.
Yeah.
The first one, I think it was the first one, or maybe it was the second one. And we had DW3, who was doing vinyls. We had Frosted, I think Brendan called himself Frosted, and I was, I think, fuck, what was I? Slow-mo or something.
Yeah.
I can't even remember, man. I was like, and I was just there for the music. I love hip-hop. Brendan was a bit of a better DJ, and obviously DW3 did really good vinyl stuff. And they were like, Xander fucking wants to come and do open mic.
Yeah.
I don't think I even knew Xander properly.
Yeah.
And it was called like Family First Descendants or something
Yes.
like that. And there was a little dude with a deep voice, and he was also open micing,
Yeah.
throwing rhymes.
Yeah.
And I don't even, like I've asked Brendan, but Brendan's always so busy, and
Yeah.
he's like this, I'm going to have Brendan on a podcast hopefully soon.
Yeah.
And that was an open mic session, freestyle basically,
Yeah.
with Xander Tyler, who is now Jack Parow.
Jack Parow.
And, but I was looking for the shorter, deep voiced guy.
Yeah.
And I didn't like, and then I'm talking in Long Street, I'm getting a tattoo from Slum Hayes Tattoos.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to you, and we're talking, we're vibing, we're like,
dots.
this is cool. And the dots start connecting, bro. And I'm like, thank God I found you finally, because you did that open mic.
Yeah.
So tell me about, you're a hip hop legend in Cape Town. Yeah. Maybe not worldwide yet.
Well, yeah.
But in Cape Town, so tell me about that.
So dude, like, first of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to chat to you and have the story be told. Yo, bro, where does one start? So, number one, that when we met each other on Long Street, the craziest like stars of ideas that fell in my head, going like, "Are you that guy that gave us the gig at Shack?" Because Shack back then, or Shack still,
it's
you
not
know,
a hip hop
there.
place.
Yeah, you know, it's not a hip hop place. Also, I mean, it's a
no.
place where you play pool, you hang out with your homies.
Yeah.
And it's a chat. There's not even live DJs. It's just, it's the playlist music.
It was Brendan Schmockel. He was a barman there. He got Henny to agree to it.
Yeah. So back then, that even happening was like was really a milestone. And I was like,
It was actually bigger than we even
Yeah. So like we're like, yo, we're gonna have a gig at Shack. But bear in mind, so back then, it was literally the birth of us hustling, trying to get to be this thing called rappers.
A rapper.
Yeah. So and when we've met, when you got to organize the party with Xander, that was already like in quite a pivotal time of my sort of rap career, where things are starting to really now kind of get to it. Not because of Xander, but we're really like sort of knocking at doors and stuff.
Yeah.
So if I may, I'll start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So you booked Family, the First Descendants. So
Family, the first.
So Family without an I, because there is no
exactly.
I in Family. It's only we, and I know it's
exactly. The fly is there. I sent it to you.
And the First Descendants. I mean, I don't know why we had that tagline. I can't even remember. But this is when Xander was now part of the crew. But before that, I had always been somebody who's been in entertainment. Okay. I started out as a child actor, and that's how Brendan knows me. So Brendan and I went to school together.
Yeah, in Jan van
Riebeeck, right? And Brendan was a little bit older than I am. I think about 3 or 4 years or something to that, maybe 3 years. He's always been a senior, but he knows me from the kid from the Shell adverts. Because that's what my big break. And the whole city would know, the kid from the Shell adverts. But I've always been in entertainment. Okay. And music only kind of came through as a natural progression because I guess as the city bowl, Cape Town breeds, you will always find yourself in pockets where either you're at a gig or you're at some sort of casting agency and people are talking about music, and that was always a natural progression. Yeah. And how I met Zander was through a friend of mine, Anthony. Okay. And we can chat about how that sort of happened. But how family happened was because I got into music and I was with Anthony and another friend of mine, and we started a band. And we happened to meet Zander along the trail of the
And he was doing it for shits and giggles, basically.
Yeah. So what happened was
he was kind of serious, but not rapping English.
So what happened was we set up family and we did a couple of gigs. Right. We had Marco, who was our beat maker. Love him to bits. Was a greater rapper than a beat maker at the time, but then he wanted to do the beat making more than the rapping. So then now we lost an MC. Anthony at the time was never a rapper, but loved like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, right.
He loved Rage Against the Machine. Yes. He loved what are they called?
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit. so he kind of also Cypress Hill. So So and he had a library of knowledge of like who the rappers were and you know, especially when it came to the white boys. And I was always just looking for somebody to rap with me because there was nobody in the city that I knew that would want to rap with me. And when I met Anthony, I was like, let me kind of, you know, groom this guy into rapping. So I used to come to his house and we used to freestyle. He was like, oh, bro, I don't rap. I'm like, oh, it's easy to rap. Let's start off with exercises. We just start off with like, you know, rap on my last word and you start. And it doesn't matter, you know. And in his lounge, slowly but surely, we kind of built a little bit of an audience because people come around, they smoke weed, they'll chill before they go into their parties. We'd rap a little bit and they'll kind of like, and the confidence built up. And then I was like, cool, let's start a band now. He's like, okay, cool, let's do it. He was amped. And once I got him on board to be a rapper with me, he was sold. But then I really needed like somebody who can actually, like, who knows bars. And that was Marco. And Marco was like, no, I want to do the beats. And I was like, fuck, need somebody that can kick verses. And Anthony happened to go, he's a Durban Villa. You know? And that's where the Zander thing came in. He's like, I know this one dude. Zander Tyler.
Probably bodyboarding with him. Yes.
Popular kid. Kind of like, he's kind of in with everybody and whatever. And I'm like, all right,
not quite from Cape Town, but I think it started actually in Cape Town.
I think he was studying at the time.
Yes.
He was studying graphic design at City Varsity. Yes. And we all chaperones, if that's a word. You know, we all used to like, you know, melting pot. Now, I didn't know Zander, but he knew Zander. It's like, look, we have an opportunity to chat to this dude. Are you down? I'm like, yeah, bro, bring him. Now, when I met Zander, it was for the first time at, do you remember that place in Observatory that had all the, like a special... Gandalf. Yes. So now Gandalf was a thing.
Gandalf was a thing.
So he's like, yo, Zander's going to be at Gandalf's. Let's go have a dope there. We chat to him. Subsequently, at the same time, there was a battle happening across the road at the Bijou.
Yeah, because Obs was quite lively then.
Yeah, it was very lively with live music. So we're going to fucking corner bully him. But I think Anthony already had conversations with Zander about like, hey man, I've got this other cat that's like also raps and we've got a crew, come check it out. And the conversation went like, oh well, I'm gonna be at Gandalf's and we'll check it out. And I'll come to your party, which is the battle. Yes. And Spindle Sect was the host of it. Do you remember Spindle Sect?
I remember the name.
With Inga Beckman.
Yes.
So Inga was part of it. She was Miss Congeniality. And there was Miss Stropolis and
I don't think I ever saw them, but I definitely heard about it.
So anyway, they were like the hoggity hog of hip hop. That makes sense. Yeah. So anyway, so we go and like I meet Zon and I'm like, yo, bro. So like, what's happening? He's like, no, all good. So I'm like, so you rap? He's like, dude, when I get drunk with my friends, I kick verses. I'm like, we've got this battle across the way. You should come through. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm like, no, you're gonna battle. He's like, yo, I'm like, yo, bro, come. So now the brandies were like a cheap. I'm like, yo,
Yes.
2 more of these,
Yeah.
bro. You'll be fine.
Let's get
And
your world up.
yeah, Vrachtivar, Brandy Commander, as
Yeah.
he was back then, Bomb Scare and Excite.
Brandy
We got him liquor, and he was like, yeah, let's go fucking battle.
Yeah.
And then that was the birth of Zandra going, I think I want to fucking kick verses. We did the battle. He didn't do as well,
Okay.
but it got him to step on stage, freestyle battle, you know. And after that, we went to his place and we started talking, come on, let's do this thing. And he's like, cool, I'm in.
Okay. And then soon after that, you had the Shaq thing.
And then soon after that, gradually, the Shaq thing happened. Because now, Zana's a part of the crew. We need a gig. He's like, I know people.
You know, my cousin Rudolph, I think, and that's he would have.
I know people. Don't worry, I got your back.
Yeah.
Where? Shaq. Yeah. That's not going to happen. I'll show you.
Yeah, so he made it happen. Yeah, because I remember he literally pretty much begged Brendan.
Was that around New Year's Eve?
I cannot remember.
I think it
was early 2000s. So what happened after that? Because I mean, soon after that, it wasn't soon after. I can't even remember how long, but it was still a couple of years still.
Yeah.
And then the unfoot started getting big.
So now we're jumping, right? Okay. So what happened was.
But what happened in that in between period?
So family happened, and we did a couple of gigs. And Anthony subsequently, as what Cape Town does to you, the Rastafari sort of community gets a hold of you and you want to be a vegan and things. Okay. I mean, no offense to anybody.
No offense to anyone,
but he went through the spiritual realm and he wanted to become more of a purpose thing. And me and Zander kept in contact. And Zander's like, the band can't be broken up because Anthony decides to leave. I'm like, yeah, no, fuck. No, I'm kind of getting good at this. And I'm also like, I'm getting good at battling and people are starting to know me. Do you want to do something? He's like, yeah, but what are we going to do? So I'm like, okay, cool, but we can't just be me and you though, because we're a shit show. I mean, we're a good shit show, but we need somebody who's got a stronghold within the hip-hop community as well from the old school. So we got this guy called X, Chronic X.
Okay.
The close-up prince from Dimbaza. What a character. He's like the Malachi of hip-hop.
Okay.
He wore these sort of, Sherlock Holmes type of bell bottoms, and he had his checkered, like he was very much of a just flamboyant. Okay. But he rapped, he was a fucking amazing rapper. And at the time, he had recruited me because I worked in the waitering industry, like hospitality. Yeah. And I happened to meet him, and he's like, yo, but aren't you the guy from Family and you battle? I'm like, yeah. And it's like, and you fucking that other white boy, the big one, and whatever. Yes. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh wait, I've got this crew called Clinch Fist. You want to be a part of it? I'm like,
oh, I remember
Clinch Fist, right? Yeah. So I'm like, cool. So then I tell Zander, yo, so now I'm part of Clinch Fist. I've had a couple of gigs with them. You want to be in Clinch Fist? He's like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. I'm like, cool. I'll speak to them because I mean you're white, so you know what I'm saying. He's like, no, it's cool. Like, do the thing. Yeah. So I chat to him.
Convince him.
They're like, no, we need diversity, bro.
Bring
that dude.
Yeah.
Bring that guy.
What year was this about?
This was your 2000 and.
I'm trying to get my bearings.
I think 2005, 6.
Around there. Early,
so early. So then, funny enough. He's now in Clinch Fist. Now we've got a bunch of people, bro. I mean, this is like the Wu-Tang Clan of Cape Town.
Of course,
yeah. But back then, there was crews. Yeah. The hip-hop cliques were crews. It was like, what, and there's like 5 of us. And a track was 7 minutes. Never was going to work on radio. I don't know what we were thinking. But I don't think we cared about that. We just wanted to grab the mic and slaughter lyrics, you know? So anyway, now he's a part of Clinch Fist. But now, okay, cool. One cool thing that happened, there was something called the Hip Hop Connected, which we and I just forget her husband's name. But anyway, Shamanic Organic, they organized something with the city of Cape Town and the Niku Malan, which is now Artscape, to talk about Cape Town hip hop within a musical story. Okay. So Zander was a part of that, and that was so great. And that for him, I think that was one of the parts where Zander sold it to his parents as in like, I'm not messing about.
Yeah, I'm not.
I know I haven't been to class in a while. Yeah. And my studies are a little bitchy, but I'm doing something. And it was a theater thing that happened for like 3 nights. It was pretty like what a parent would want to see. Okay, cool. My kid's actually doing stuff. You know, he's a thespian.
Yeah. He might not be making money.
Yeah, but you know, it looks like I can show at least the church bazaar. Yes. Look, this is what's you know, and parents came and all of that. And that's kind of like when the wheels started spinning. But now with Clinch Fist, it was quite big, and we were like, me, Zonda, and Chronic X started getting a little bit more of a camaraderie of like the hip hop that people are doing is just too like safe. We want to do like Q hip hop.
Right.
Like we've got one white dude, we've got a dude from Zimbabwe, we've got a short guy with a big voice, sounds like he's a white dude. He's got a name and surname, and like it could be from fucking Europe. Like this is
good. We need to use
this. This is good. We you know.
Cape Town's becoming more metropolitan now.
Then we decided, well, let's start a crew called the DA. But we're the District Alcoholics.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it was a beautiful play on the DA, because that was when the DA kind of just, came in. And we're like, cool. And Zander was in with the whole Boerewors and Stellenbosch, what's name. Our lyrics was very oxymoronic. It was, the Xhosa Prince was speaking about the most offside type of poetic stuff that's got to do with the ancestors and that, the black people and the Xhosa people when they came, and the Zulus and and I came in with the but when I go to the bathroom I want a Stephanie and a Melanie and Meskina Anneke.
And the Anneke.
And then Zander came in with the but I just want to drink brandy and drive you guys around and la la la. So that was a dynamic with our crew. And the Lapa, what's that other place called? Aunt Class and all those places.
Yes,
when they heard our pitch when we want to come do gigs,
they're like, love it.
Love it. Bring it.
And again,
let's do it.
We're diverse now.
Yeah.
We're loving this.
Love it. And we had mega parties. Now parties were frat parties. I mean, it was the District Alcoholics. You know what I'm saying? We're getting safe, it's brandy, and there's fucking diversity, and it's Nuwe South Africa, and boom.
Yeah.
Then something happened where we were like, okay, cool. We've made a shock factor, right, of who we are, but we gotta go really shock. Okay. But not shock as in like, we are those people anyway. We're not trying to shock people by saying this is our gimmick. We just want to talk about the next subject. So there was a track that I kind of was like, Hard-Headed Hobos.
Okay.
Right, it was Triple H.
Yes.
Playing
my God.
Hard-Headed Hobos.
Oh my God.
So okay, cool. So we used to have meetings talk about what's the next track and whatever. What's our set gonna be like. And what's Hard-Headed Hobo about? So I tell Zander that, so we the hobos, the ones that the beches you see on the street. And
are you allowed to say hobos these days?
I don't know.
Say homeless people?
It's a safe zone, eh? This is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it was called back then.
Yeah, we just called them hobos. Bergies, but
bad. And it just wasn't going to work. Hard-headed Bergies, just double HB. Just didn't work. So Hard-Headed Hobos, so Triple H.
Triple H, a play on hip hop, Triple HP. Yeah. That's good.
No, not
that.
Triple H, Hunter Helmsley.
WWF.
Okay.
But again, I love Triple HP, by the way. Just hip hop on
double HP.
Double H. Oh, it's double H.
Double HP.
Not triple.
No, all good.
My bad.
All good. So anyway, we're like, what is this track about? Well, this track is about us who are like gesape before the alcohol stores open, and we're having the times.
You're waiting for 10 o'clock in the morning.
You as a worker bee waits for 10 o'clock. We've been drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Like, we done an all-nighter.
Yeah, and also benders. We're living the times of our lives, bro. But we live in the streets, and Yazi Boer, and you're complaining. You're the Karen. Going like, I'm going to Australia. What is up with this?
I'm going to Australia.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So he's like, okay, but if I'm the Boer, I can't speak English.
Yeah.
Because he was rapping in English back then.
Of course.
He was called Bong Scare and Excites.
What is he called?
Bong Scare.
Bong Scare?
Bong Scare and Excites.
Bong Scare and Excites.
Yeah. Quick Draw McGraw. That was his slogan. The Bong Scare and Excites, the Quick Draw McGraw.
Okay.
Very much the Brandy Commander still. That was just his name, Brandy Commander. Okay. Anyway, and he was like, okay, cool, but then how are we going to do this? I'm like, no, then rap in your native tongue, dude. Rap in Afrikaans. So
that's when he turned on the taps.
Zander turned on his Afrikaans pen.
Did he want to?
Was he hesitant? Was down with the track, but was hesitant to rap in English.
Okay.
He wanted to rap in Afrikaans, because I told him it's not going to make sense. You're the Boer.
Yeah.
But
was he comfortable rapping in Afrikaans?
He never rapped in Afrikaans
before.
Ever.
No.
But he wanted to write. He was open to writing in Afrikaans. It was an assignment.
Because ultimately, he is a good writer.
That's it. Throughout, always been a great conceptualizer, storyteller, thought from the top down, intro, body, and ending. You know, he knew the fundamentals of writing, but this time this was an assignment, and this was just for this track. But then executed it, and he loved writing in this new arena so much. Yeah. And he was like, you know, but that's a side note. That's got nothing to do with, oh, that was the birth of Jack Parow. It was just like him, I guess, eternally was like,
maybe.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We still kept on the DA and whatever. And then gradually sort of broke away. Anthony came back.
Okay.
Zander went on his own journey. He became popular in his own sort of way of in other pockets. Anthony came back from Rastafari and he's like, that was cool. And he was like, you want to start a new band? I'm like, yeah, The Realist is what the band was called. And
The Realist.
The Realist, yeah. So forget being an autocrat, forget being a Democrat, forget being a Republican, forget being a whatever. Our party is The Realist, you know.
Okay.
And yeah, we that's where I went, and I really took
it on. And how did that go? Tell us about that.
That went amazing. That was the switch from being an amateur rapper to being a professional rapper. Labels came at us. Our song was premiered on Dangerous Minds.
Wow.
Yeah, you know Dangerous.
What year
Minds.
was that about?
That was now 2008-9. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So this was a similar time that then the Unfoot became big. Zander moved into Vegas and Parow, and
there was Max Normal,
and then
there was Max Normal. Then there was
because he was
Real Estate Agents,
yeah,
and then there was
Max Normal TV,
but there was also Mr. Sakatumi and MC Totally Fucking Rad and DJ Fuck and you know, it was that fucking Cape Town Entertainment was
booming. But I mean, because Waddy was around here as well.
Waddy has been around since original Evergreen.
No, of course,
he's always wanted to be.
No,
I mean, from Pretoria daar was I mean, you should know. I mean, Tucky's guy. You know, original Evergreens. Yeah. He was always just a fucking. He was always going to be what he was going to be now. I don't know as much as far as now, but he was always going to be on stage. But
there was a lot of stuff happening at that time, is what I'm saying. So you were in that mix.
Yeah,
but
340 mil. Yeah. Godessa. It was. Not just Codessa, who was the other rap crew that was also...
Brasvani Carp was another...
Yeah, but they were just before us.
Just before you?
Who was it?
But I think my point is that there was a lot happening in that time. But you were The Realist.
We were The Realist, that's right. But now we did something which was a little bit different.
Okay.
Horrorcore.
Horrorcore?
Yeah. So our music genre stemmed from... not like this poetic side of hip hop. It was more of like the political, angelic, ancestral type of really uncomfortable stuff, you know? Okay. We would, I mean, our content was things like Third World, and it would speak about like how Swakopmund and those places were procured by neo-Nazis and how Cape Town has an embedded fucking, nuclear... what's the name in Table Mountain? Yes. What happened to the real Mandela? Like that shit. Yes. So it wasn't secular.
The real Mandela. Okay.
Yeah. Like it was like whoa, like where we at? Man, people loved it. Like more of the white crew kids liked it, and obviously some of the more free-thinking black kids. But it wasn't your boom bap. It wasn't your and there's a.
It wasn't based on
like you know New York. Yeah. So we started bringing. We started bringing like not EDM, but electronic beats. It was more cinematic. It was more dramatic. It was like, it was a story that had like build up, and then we were talking about some hardcore stuff. I mean, one of the choruses I had was like, "It's tactical torture scroll." It went something like, "Should I stay or should I pack?" I was like, should I stay or should I pack? I'm haunted by the voices of war because I'm ready to attack, devoting death to the reaper. I'm the grieper of the rim. I'm sick and tired of life's tall tales and peaceful offerings, words disconnected by the mind, who's restless in the soul. These are the realist and tactical torture scrolls. Angels whip script. Blood drips from the floor. Where's Quran, the boat keeper? You won't find him here no more. He's locked up in the helter-skelter cell, the demonical carnivore. And then like that type of stuff. It's like, whoa, okay, what's going on? So our music wasn't hip-hop, but it was horrorcore. Okay. And Zander wasn't trying to do that, and he's on his journey. Yeah. But at the same time, what happened is that we started getting attention a lot from the international market, but also we also started getting attention a lot from Wadi. So we used to go to Wadi's parties, and we used to be in front stage. We used to enjoy like watching it. And then in turn, he became a fan of ours as well, and he came to one of our parties. He actually walked from Cape Town to Observatory to come watch us at All Nations for one of our first The Realist gigs.
Really?
Because of the colleague,
collegial attitude.
We watch your gigs, you watch our gigs, you know.
Yeah.
And things kind of changed.
How?
So we were like, cool, we've got this music that fits nowhere.
But
how are we going to get
talking
booked?
about good shit. It's interesting.
How are we going to get booked?
Yes.
People are doing boom bap and they're doing fucking, you know.
Yeah.
Who's going to fucking book us?
Yeah.
We're not enough rock and roll or grunge.
Yeah.
We're too rap to be rock and roll or grunge.
Yeah.
And we're too hardcore grunge to be rap. So now what? Let's do our own parties. Yeah. We need to think about something. We can't just do our own parties.
Yeah.
Let's start a brand. Let's start like a thing that makes it seem like, because there was no internet back then. Let's make like a thing.
Well, it was still getting going.
Yeah. Facebook just came out.
Facebook just came out, like 2007.
Let's start a thing that happened worldwide, and now it's in South Africa. Loggerheads.
Okay.
So we met up with a producer who's one of the most craziest producers ever. His name is Gregory Riveret.
Okay.
He was top of his class in terms of sound scoring, producing. I mean, there, bro.
Yeah.
Subsequently, now recently worked with Hans Zimmer, and so that's where he ended up.
Okay.
But back then, Anthony owed this guy work in terms of graphic designing, because Anthony was a graphic designer. And he was like, "Look, I'll give you work if you can make us beats." He made us beats, and this guy, oh my God, like just the avant-garde fucking Amon Tobin of a demon when it came to beats, and nobody had these beats. We had them.
Okay.
Cool. Still separating us from the hip hop world. Yeah. So now how are we gonna? Cool. So he's like, we'll start a battle gig, a gig that's based around a big battle, but we'll book hip hop artists around. We'll book up all our favorite artists that we like. Yeah. We'll get the guys from Guguletu, we'll get the guys from Langa. We'll get a lot of the hood guys that like us, and we'll get them to come through. And we'll hoy a gig. And we did. And where the party was going to happen was at Mercury Live. Now, the way we did this is because of the connections that we've made over the times of me battling and stuff like that, we decided, cool, we need a brand. Puma was hungry for just stuff. Yeah. And we had an inside guy. Okay. We're like, yo, you got to sponsor this party. He's like, how many people projection? We're like, we'll fill that place out. Yeah. We took all the influencers back then and we told them, there's some cash. Tell everybody there's a battle that's happening for a big chain title. It's 10,000. We hyped it up.
What year was this about?
This is 2007, 8, around there. Okay. Yeah, 2007, 8. Is my year. Yeah, 2007, 8. Yeah. Okay. And we just really threw horns. And then there's a big battle, and then the defending champion of this battle, I am.
Okay. So you made up the defending champion.
Yes, I am the defending champion.
Okay, yeah.
And we got this big medallion chain made. And this is the thing. Now, people from Joburg found out about this. People from Namibia, people from, Garden Route. Okay. So this party, all of a sudden, was full. Okay. Now, I'll give you some footage so then you can show it.
Yeah, sure.
I guess this is where it happens. Yeah. And great. So it got traction. Okay. It got so much traction that all the higher ups found out about it. Like now, Wadi has somehow, him and Zon, they've got this crew. Yes. Because before they were the Antwoord, it was the Paris and Vegas show.
Yeah, they're saying.
And then
it was almost like with the Antwoord.
Yeah, and then he was kind of like, And then they came through the one night. Okay. And Yolandi Visser wanted to battle the host, which is Anthony. And there's already a battle forum happening. There's already a lineup. And he said, no, You can't do it just because your boyfriend is Max Normal or whatever the
Yeah,
hell you guys
whatever
do.
you guys are
with your
now.
little party that you guys do, whatever the hell it is that you guys do.
Yeah.
No. And then she got booed off stage or whatever, like,
Yeah.
So the next party that happened, he came through and he jumped on stage. And the footage that...
Wasn't it in those white suits at all? No, that was before now.
That was, yeah.
Okay.
So the footage
So I didn't see that. I think I was literally actually in Joburg that time, or I was having kids. So I didn't see that scene happen. But I think people I know and around us knew that because it's very interesting.
Yeah, story. So anyway, then he jumped on stage, he battled Anthony, he got chowed, he got booed off stage, and he was very hurt by it. It's touching his emotions.
Okay.
And his first album came out, and there was a song on there called "You Was a Puss in the First Place."
Oh, really?
Beep. Now, in that track, it's about me and Anthony. So when you play, so that whole track is about us, about how that's happened. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then that's how big the Realist became. I mean, we got booked by about a bunch of festivals.
Okay.
But with that being happening, Cape Town is super expensive.
Yeah.
And you can't live on music here if you're just a musician. Or let me say, just back then, I mean, even they as Max Normal, they were doing other things as well. And some people are very fortunate than other people, but I guess you have to be a rich boy to be a musician back then.
Yeah.
But Anthony was a graphic designer. He needed work.
Yeah.
And Gregory was a producer, composer. He needed work, and Joburg called. And he went to Joburg. And Anthony,
because that's the money, right?
Yeah,
the money of this business, this music business.
Money.
It's not as glamorous as some may think. Very few people, especially in this country, make the business of music.
Yes, and that's another conversation.
Yeah,
because it's fun to record. It's fun to do the parties. But the return of the parties
is like
the breaking evens, or the not breaking even, or the losing monies, or the But anyway, so that's how the band broke up, because real life kicked in.
Yeah. And getting older.
I mean, not even then. We weren't that older, but it was.
It was just like you just needed to make.
It was at make or break.
Make or break.
It's at make or break. Am I gonna be a graphic designer, or am I gonna be a pro skateboarder? But I can't do both, because I've got meetings that I have to do, but I can't limp into meetings because I fell my fucking face in. You know what I mean? Or there's like a tournament happening, but I've got deadlines. It was the same thing with Zana. If there's anybody who want to have a conversation about like when that fork happened, about like, am I going to do graphic designing and study as that, or am I going to really...
But I think he finished, and he was actually working, or he almost started working almost.
He did finish.
Yeah.
But you can ask him today, what was the decision? And he would tell you...
Where was that point?
He would tell you that I needed to forsake all that other stuff and give everything to music, make a break.
Yeah. Make a break,
For some of us, that takes a support structure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
some of us don't have it.
And some of us don't have it. Some of us, like, I have to have a waitering job, and then, or I have to have, like, But either way, the reality of it is the band broke up because real life kicked in. I kept on doing my music thing. I kept on hunting on, but I've by then formulated my portfolio in a way that I was now a master of ceremonies, like a host for things.
Because you said you're still in entertainment.
Yeah.
You're in the business of entertainment.
Yeah. And bear in mind, this is from the acting kid.
Yes.
So that's always still been there. So I can still pitch up. Just give me whatever the scenario is, So presenting came in for me, whether it be radio or in front of camera.
Yeah.
Or being on stage, hosting for like a brand to whatever.
And you got into radio?
Yeah, I got into radio. And so my brand became diluted by not just being the battle MC, the artist.
Yeah.
It kind of went tenfold.
Did it get diluted, or did it just expand?
Look, so you can't be a jack of all trades because you're a master of none. You can be a jack of all trades, but then you can't be a master of some. That makes sense.
I don't know, but there is a further into that quote, and I do believe that it is as fast. Doing lots of different things does culminate in something at some point. It's not all wasted.
Yeah.
Yes, you don't want to spread yourself too thin because you do want to focus on certain things, but that doesn't mean you need to focus only on one thing.
Well, here's the question then.
Yeah.
Then what was I known for? Was I known for acting? Was I known for the music? So
You're just known for being Dennis.
Yeah. So
Denis Leach.
So therein had to lie the what is the brand?
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? Then in came the difficult conversation of which one is making us money, dude?
Yeah.
Which one is when your girlfriend's father asks you, so what do you do? Which one is a cool answer?
I still don't know the answer to that question for myself. Like, you know, it's a long, hard slog to kind of get yourself that identity. And you do need to find a purpose, I think. And it sounds, and I heard these words, find your values, find your purpose. It doesn't always mean anything to me. But it's like, what do you want to get up in the morning that actually makes you happy?
Yeah.
Like, even if you're doing something...
Or not happy, content.
Yeah, because happiness, I also don't believe. Content. And you know, it doesn't have to be big. And it's a matter of, even if something that you're doing specifically isn't great, but does it fit into the bigger picture somehow? And I do think what you've done, and other things you've done, if you want to talk about it or not, they are culminating in something.
Yeah.
You're still known as Dennis. People, as I said, when we saw each other again, and I started talking to people about, everyone knows you. Everyone knows Dennis is in entertainment. Yeah. So is entertainment the thing?
Yeah.
And you haven't moved away from entertainment. In the broader picture, you're in radio. Yeah. You're still working on your music. It's not where it wants to be. You're still working on events. Yeah. Events, I think, are a big thing because I do know with sort of more electronic, sort of house, techno type DJs, the DJing doesn't necessarily make you the money.
No.
It's the events. It's the idea. What brand do you want to bring forward? Yeah. Where are you with that? Or where did you get to that? Or
so then,
who are you now?
So then what happened was, okay, cool. So now, okay, I'm on my ace, right? Mm. So then the currency of people came involved. Because now I've made all these connections and I've worked with different brands. But now I'm my ace. Anthony's gone to Joburg. He's gone to work. Gregory by now has left. He went to go work with Tasha Baxter. Okay. He did the 5FM thing. Then America called and he'd gone on and great and C'est la vie and all of that. But that I had to like internalize and go like, okay, but what is that for me? Am I going to do the music thing? But what was calling and what was making me cash was this like, hey man, can you host an event of ours? Yeah. Hey man, listen, just we have an event that we'd like to do. We don't have a venue. Do you know anybody that you can chat to about that?
And you had connections, yeah.
And I had connections. So that became my thing where I was like, events right now could be the thing. So I met a friend of mine through the path of music, which is one of my best friends and my business partner, Chris, and we did parties together. And the reason why we did parties was still with the fuck off of like, if you don't want to book us, we're just gonna have our own parties.
Yeah. It's like,
you know what I mean?
You know, don't rely on.
Yeah.
You can control. Making your own party, so you don't need to rely on anyone to throw a party to book you.
Without even knowing that I'm about to walk into a shitstorm of learning of how the business works. Okay. Because you can't be a part of the industry if you're not adding to the GBT. A lot of people like saying, "Yo, I'm a rapper, music industry." No, you are an employee of the music industry. I'm the industry. So when I book you and I pay you so that you can go to SARS or whatever the case,
pay your taxes.
Yeah, I'm the industry. Yeah. You're just a rapper. Yeah. You're an employee of industry. When you become a part of the industry, is when you have a record label as a rapper, and then you pay other people. Yeah. And that's what I didn't know, and I was about to find out about the brutal, honest truth about this is a business. It's got nothing to do with talent. The numbers need to count. Whether you're making a loss or a profit. Yeah. But it has to make sense in terms of speaking to anybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? Anyway, so for me it was the passion because I'm an artist. I've got the love of the artist. Like, I just want fucking my friends to be able to perform and then everybody can see our music and then the light will shine and we'll all be famous.
We'll all be famous. And make money.
That's it. And so accidentally I walked into learning that, okay, this is not the band's gonna make it. We're talking real big boy stuff here, you know. And where that came in was when Chris and I went like, fuck, bro, our favors are done now. We need to start paying people. Because now you're at a venue, you got the venue for free, you got the artist for free. But the artist drinks. There's no shade at where the dance floor is. So we need like a marquee or a tent. We can't go ask Hendrik to fucking with his business to give us for free, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, how many parties have
And
we been?
Yolandi's not going to bring the owners.
And she's not going to bring, you know what I'm saying? You know, and so then it started being, okay, cool, we need to dig into our pockets and invest in this. And then when that happened, then friendship is now friendship needs to be established. Okay, cool. So this is business partner. So, but what are you? Well, I'm the COO. Okay, cool, but then what am I? Well, then you this. Okay, cool. Okay, but I mean, so then what is the, you know, so those conversations between me and Chris needed to happen because, yeah, bro, you're driving to go pick up the alcohol, but that's petrol.
Yeah.
Who's paying for that?
And you probably don't even have a company yet. You're just doing
no.
This is just you don't understand business.
No, you know, so we're there with that, and we're just learning how that happened. We're gonna book, and for the beginning of, I mean, and this is probably what happens as the devil wears Prada with a lot of people. Your first gig is the most successful one. You think,
done.
Got it.
Yeah.
You know? That's really all I can say.
And you're still partners with Chris?
It's still to today.
Still today.
So my best friend I've lost money with and I've made money with, but the goal has remained the same. I always tell people, you want to know who's your friends? Those who visited you in jail, hospitals, and those ones that lost money with you.
Lost money,
Yeah. Because friends...
What's the company called?
Anytime Guys.
ATG.
Yeah. You know? And Anytime Guys comes from that whole mafia, like, you know, you need to get it sorted.
Yeah, anytime.
Yo, hey, anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. Well, fucking your sister got beaten up at the playground. All right, we got it. You know what I mean? And Anytime Guys, the idea behind it was we wanted to do gigs for us, by us, because the industry doesn't want to smile with us. So if you are a struggling artist and you need a platform, we'll put you on. You know, we'll pay you, we'll put you on. Go and tell other people that this is happening. If you're a graphic designer, we'll put you on as well. Go tell other people this is happening. If you get a job through us, make sure you give a job to other people as well.
Pay it forward.
So a little bit of gay, pay it forward. Sorry, not gay, but I mean, when I say gay, I mean happiness.
Happiness.
Yeah.
Gay is happiness.
Yeah, happiness. Yeah. I mean, a little bit of the sunshine.
Yes.
But it's like because being an independent contractor is very difficult if you don't have an ecosystem. Because corporates work on an ecosystem of there's a contract in place, and I work for the contract. But if you're an independent contractor, politicians know about this. You're only in until you're out, bro. But if you have a network of people that you can work with, knowing that, okay, cool, this is how we didn't do this, and this is how, okay, you got fired there, don't worry, there's another job going to happen here. Or we will create a job. If there's no war, we'll create war here. You know what I mean? And so that's how ATG kind of had that. And
And how do you, so in terms of the podcast, we've talked a lot about business and what you do. I think we've got a good idea about that. We can talk about it more and we can have another podcast. We're definitely going to have more. What's your personal philosophy on money? So money, because we've talked about this even just before this in terms of just, we've got a mutual friend, for example, that doesn't know how to talk about the money, can't even pay for his own way when he comes to Cape Town in a way, like doesn't have a place to stay. He's good, he's got a network, he understands events a bit as well, as an example. But how did you learn from all of that business-wise, and what's your personal philosophy on money, especially when you're business and personal finances and losing money with friends? What's your philosophy in terms of just money and dealing with it and personal finance?
One of the biggest slogans I had is like, all I wanted to do was to rap so that I can make money, so I can pay for my friends' drinks and get them into free parties. Now that I'm rich and famous, now everybody's paying me to, you know. And why I say that is money means, and I mean this, money means nothing, because the currency of money is the value of the person, I guess. So I can be in the desert, I'll be selling like fucking sand fucking lollipops to people, and they'd be partying in a desert storm, and they'd be happy about it.
Well, that's called Africa Burn, I think.
Yeah. There you go. Just so that you know. Just so that you know. But I do understand you need a bargaining chip.
Yeah.
And I mean it when I say chip. That's the chip. I put value in it. What are we going to do with it? So I need to know my role of, am either this is the chip, I've said this is a chip, or am I the guy's like, but I know what I'm going to do with it? Because money means nothing if you don't know what to do with it. It's sand in a pocket with a big hole.
Yeah.
So you can have...
Because a lot of artists will also make money, they don't know how to deal with it.
They don't know how to deal with it.
And it just goes in and out.
And it just goes out.
Yeah.
You know? So for me, I started to realize my role within the money chain was that I am the guy, the broke millionaire, can sit here with nothing in my pocket and I can bring in the people with all the cash. But then that's me. That's my role. I'm done with that now. You know? Then I need to bring Chris. Do the thing.
But that's for business. How do you like it does
Personally?
Personally?
Personally is very, very, very different.
Like where did you learn about like your own personal philosophy? Do you save? Do you get money? What do you do with it?
So for me, from an early age, when I was doing the acting thing, it was always to make sure that my money can at least double. And if it can't double, I know how to spend better. So assets, things like that, you know. The promises of knowing that if I'm going to buy something, it has to not depreciate. You know what I mean?
How did you, for instance, when you were in the sort of more, call it struggling days, when you're just having fun, and you were waitering probably when the hospitality...
You never spend your own money.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was too much.
Yeah.
Never spend your own money. Your money, pay yourself.
First.
Yeah. But when I say pay yourself, I mean like food, rent.
Yeah.
Change.
Yeah.
Change is very difficult.
The change, you mean?
Yeah, the change from the food rent. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
But don't go, change, I haven't partied in a while. And then the change from me partying, I'll pay food and rent. Food, rent, change. It's cool, you can
say again, what does it change mean?
Change is from, is the change that comes from your food and rent. So you get paid 150 Rand,
yeah.
$50 food, $50 rent, $50 change.
Okay.
The big important part is what are you going to do with that change?
Change, yeah. Yeah, but pay your rent first.
Yeah.
Pay your food.
Yeah. Are you going to go, let me put 25 to rent for next month and put 25 to what's the name next month, and I'll just hustle how I got
the rest.
You know, that's the conversation because
that's almost like planning ahead of it.
Yeah.
It's like you're not
for the dark days.
Now.
Yeah,
for the dark days.
So saving, everybody can. I mean, I can save, but what am I going to do with it?
What's the goal?
What they don't teach us is how to spend money. So now I used to be in the bracket of $100, but now I get paid fucking $1,000.
Yeah.
What? You telling me I used to work hand for mouth and now I can? But now, if I'm not educated,
now you've got what?
How much change?
900 bucks. So it's 50 Rand for rent still.
Yeah.
It's 50 Rand for food. My change is 900.
Where are you,
yeah.
dog?
You could buy more weed.
We're gonna get more. Yeah.
You're gonna get wasted, dog.
I mean, and on a serious note,
yeah.
Teach us how to save, but nobody teaches how to spend. It's very important. It's actually the most important part because if you can't spend, if you don't know how to spend money, then what is the use of saving?
But by spending, you mean is like deciding consciously and responsibly what are you going to spend it on?
What are we going to spend it on? What is really going to... Because you must remember, that contract is only the contract until it's not a contract anymore. So you got to think of the rainy days.
Yeah,
the rainy days is I paid... You know, my negotiation used to be when I used to get booked in jobs, like say for instance, Joburg. I'm like, if you can pay my rent for 2 months, I'm in. And then we can talk about the package.
What else?
Yeah.
The cream.
It's
the cream. The change is the cream.
Pay my rent for whatever, how long you guys need me here for. I need that to be sorted out. Then we can start negotiating the package.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if people can have those conversations, I want my rent paid. I want a petrol card. Cool, done, standard. You gotcha because of who you
Your
are.
basics,
yeah, of your basics. But now you need to make sure that you hold them responsible for keeping you, or you being safe at least.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that you
because just by getting the booze, that's coming from change.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, that's because often the guys are, well, you can get free drinks at the bar.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Forget about
First, where are you going to stay tonight?
Yeah, exactly. You know, like fuck it, the dope system, eh?
Yeah, it's a dope system. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
I mean, next question.
I think that's a great nugget. I love that philosophy. That's actually really digestible in terms of how that. But the thing is, we're talking with entertainers and people that are in events and MCs, and a lot of that's fun. A lot of it's also work. You still obviously work on your music. It's probably a little bit more of a hobby, of a side thing maybe, or you want to get going. But like, what does Denis do on a, like, hobbies wise? Like, what else? I mean, like, I know Xander's, like, for instance, if we're talking about him, he likes bodyboarding still.
Yeah.
Gets out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can swim. No.
I mean,
you went to Jan van Riebeeck. You were one of.
Yeah, I swam.
You were the first non-white guy.
No, I can swim. I just don't think swimming is a sport. I think it's more of a survival thing. I don't. I never fell for that. It's like, yeah, swimming sport. I'm like, why? Can you swim? Well, the question is, like, can you drown?
Ek
was Jan van Riebeeck. Ek was full on Jan van Riebeeck. Ek was een van die eerste persone van klere gewees. Ek was in gelukbringertjie vir omtrent meer jare as wat ek mag gewees het. Ja, through and through, wees yourself. But
wees yourself, yeah.
Yeah, but
what do you do for fun?
That's just the thing.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is my fun.
Yeah.
This is my life. It's always been.
Like, it's like that thing when people talk about work-life balance. It's bullshit. What I do is I live. I do what I do.
Yeah.
It's fun and it's work and it's
exactly
money at the same time.
Like, I mean, I guess you can also go back to how the Europeans, when you ask them, so what do you do? A South African will go like, yeah, I'm a graphic designer, I'm a banker.
Yeah.
A European will go like, I go to the movies, I breathe, I eat.
Yeah. It's
like, but what do you do?
I think my answer to that question nowadays, when somebody asks me, what do I do? I say, my fucking best, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I'm just doing my best.
Just doing what I can, man, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, because you must also understand, for me, this is all I know. I've worked in the entertainment industry as a very young. Where it started was right place, right time. I was at St. Michael's Field. I think it was like 7 or 6. 7. And I always hanged out with kids that are a little bit older than me. I think my mom just happened to have friends whose kids were a little bit older than me. So I would go with this one kid named Mitchell, and he was like about 3 years older than me, and I would go and play with them, and he had older friends, and I would be there. So I was complaining the one time on the side of the football field, hey, you know, he wants to pick me, why you bring me around? And while I'm doing that, the editor of Sorry was on the other side parking a car, and then she called me over saying, hey, what's wrong, what's happening? But this is me, I've been moaning for like the past, I think she lived there or she visited someone and they heard me complaining there for the longest of time. And she called me and she's like, hey, like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I told her the story. I'm like, and she's like, have you ever thought of like adverts and stuff? I'm like, you're gonna have to ask my mom. She's like, cool.
I mean, it's asking a 7-year-old.
She's like, cool, let's do that. Let's organize. Who are you here with? So I called the guy I was here with, Mitchell, and boom, that happened. And I was one of the first clients for Rydford and Ogilvy. Back then it was called Rydford and Ogilvy. Okay. Little, what's the name, agency. Her house, the editor of Sorry had an English version of Sorry. It was called, what is that magazine?
Jeez, I don't know.
Dit was die Sorry geweest en die wat geweest.
Yeah.
It's honest, whatever. She had a house just up the road anyway, and then she was my agent, and the rest was history in terms of TV, you know what I mean? But it was through that. Okay. So I used to, while people were going to school, I used to wake up for set, like during the April, going into Easter. Yeah. Like just as we get into Easter and stuff like that, people at school, I'm on set. 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm busy. I'm busy. When we have breaks, I'm busy learning my my school stuff. And then cool, now time to like
Okay.
full on like that. I had a
Yes.
driver.
Yo.
Ask Mark van die Kerk there.
Yeah.
Like if you
Mark,
you know
yeah.
Chippy?
Chippy,
Ask Chippy, like, yo, when did you see Dennis? Oh, we saw Dennis like maybe like 2 times a year. He would come and
he
every
was
now and
there,
then, you know, and then, you know, that's how, that was my life for the longest of time.
Okay.
So acting and the entertainment thing, that's what it wasn't just about, it was fun, it was a job.
Yeah.
It was my
You
currency.
made some money.
It was my currency.
Yeah.
You know? But that was also the problem. I didn't know that was it. It was a job. Like it was, I didn't know that, fuck, Brie.
Yeah.
When this ends, you have to then go package yourself.
Yeah,
and then,
somehow.
Yeah. But then also, because Hollywood was, oh no, I'm your manager, I'll take care of everything. All you need to do is pitch up.
Yeah.
But the landscape changed in terms of things. People started to get over. You know what I mean? And now, as time would have it, you need to start knowing about the contracts you sign. You can't just be Macaulay Culkin. Your parents have sold you off, dude.
You basically like the Macaulay Culkin of Cape Town.
Yeah.
And
So
except Macaulay Culkin never got into rap.
No, he didn't.
I mean, he did.
I mean, he was in the music video with black and white.
I love that song.
Yeah. He did rap in black and white.
He did actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, not as good as you.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. So that for me, when it comes to the money talk, it's a cut conversation to have because some of us artists can't have that conversation. We just want to do music, you know, and we don't want to fuck up the relationship because we want to gig next money. So we need like an element to come in saying, listen, this guy is worth so much and so much. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Well, we see that's what we're doing with RTG, and it's actually been a great conversation.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I hope I gave you what you needed.
I hope I gave you what you needed to come and give a couple of nuggets of information.
I think also coming up, I have a few cool things that
we're going to talk about it.
Yeah,
we're definitely going to.
We'll leave
that another one.
We'll leave that for next time on.
But watch out, world.
Oh wait.
Away, dude.
Lekker, bro.
Lekker to speak to you, my man.